Okay, we had some technical difficulties at the start of my last stream, so we're restarting. How to turn on the mic, how to unmute it as well. I'm learning how to use Streamlabs desktop. Okay, a good friend Kevincho, you can go ahead and follow him on his socials. Really recommended me that I use Streamlabs in order to do my live streaming and video recording, and so pretty much trying to learn the ins and outs of this platform. So if you were in my previous live stream, please apologies. I'm going to be deleting the video, and then hopefully you'll come back here. All right. So with that in mind, I am Travel Football Fan. I'm helping fans save money and travel the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I want to make a quick video here, a quick live stream, unless we get some additional questions and whatnot, regarding the ticket sales for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Thank you, Angus. Yeah, for some reason, again, I'm working with a new platform. It's called Streamlabs, and so I'm just trying to get used to how it works and everything. So yeah, I didn't notice I had the mute button pressed. I decided to connect my Rode wireless mic. I think this is a little too loud. Yeah, if I put it too close here. So let me go ahead and put this mic over here. That'll be better there. Okay. All right. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and let's restart here. Okay. So the update is that the Vancouver Host Committee on their Instagram indicated that ticket sales for the 2026 FIFA World Cup will go on sale late 2025. So we got. So what does that mean? Well, it could mean that we're looking at the last 3 months of the year, of the calendar year 2025, as for when these tickets will go on sale. Now, I had initially predicted August 2025. You can go catch my YouTube video that I had created back, I believe it was last year, in which I explained my methodology as to why it would be August 2025. I basically said, look, previous World Cup cycles, they were selling the tickets between 9 to 11 months before the start of the tournament. So August seemed like a reasonable time frame because that would be after the conclusion of the Club World Cup 2025. So FIFA wouldn't want to kind of overlap. Now, that idea is kind of debunked, right? So my prediction's kind of like half debunked because we're already having ticket sales for the hospitality for 2026 already happened. We already had the deposit phase, right? And I believe the full sale of the hospitality tickets will start in February for season ticket holders at the stadiums. So that's already started for hospitality. But for regular tickets, yeah, I predicted August. But now it looks like it's going to be, according to the Vancouver World Cup Instagram channel, late 2025. Now, more than likely, it will not be December because that would probably be when the World Cup draw happens, okay? Probably going to be hosted in Miami, although Monterrey is making a big push for it. So, if December is already the draw, and typically the first sales phase happens before the draw, which is kind of like your blind application period, then more than likely we're looking at October and November as to when tickets for the 2026 World Cup will go on sale. So more than likely, again, October, November 2025 is the target date for when the first batch of tickets are going to go on sale. If FIFA, and maybe this is where we transition a little bit to how these tickets are going to be sold, more than likely it's not going to be sold through Ticketmaster, right? Because we saw that. We saw that here with the Club World Cup, that the tickets are going to be sold through Ticketmaster, right? I think a lot of that is influenced by the fact that Infantino and FIFA couldn't really get the gears going in organizing the Club World Cup in the way that they wanted to. So they pretty much just said, you know what, let's just make the deal with the devil. We'll go with Ticketmaster, okay? And we'll just see, okay? Maybe this is kind of like a deal where we say, you know what, Ticketmaster, you get to sell Club World Cup, but you don't touch World Cup. It's a total possibility, right? Total possibility. And so we have the October-November target date for the sales. Is it going to be to Ticketmaster? Probably not. The chances of Ticketmaster selling those tickets for the World Cup did increase by virtue of them selling these tickets for the Club World Cup. But I would suggest that FIFA is still going to use their own platform, their own IP, in order to sell the tickets, in order to resell the tickets, because it's a moneymaker for them. That is their moneymaker. The Club World Cup was kind of like a, here, we'll pay you off by letting you make money off the sale on the fees and stuff. They probably get like half, they probably get some cut of the tickets, right? And they keep all their fees. So whatever that is, that's Ticketmaster's, right? But for the World Cup, more than likely, we will not have Ticketmaster selling the tickets. I could still be wrong about that, just because, relatively speaking, it has been successful. I will say this. If there is one thing that Ticketmaster and FIFA did right with the Club World Cup compared to Conmebol and Copa America, is that whereas Conmebol gave out the code like days, like almost weeks in advance, and allowed for the purchase of, like, what was it, for most of the tournament, 12 tickets per person, and then for the final 8 per person, which then was obviously a scalper's paradise. FIFA has taken out that information like literally the day before the tickets go on sale. Yes, they have distributed the codes, but that limited the amount of time that these codes could be shared. And what is this? What was the last point I was trying to make with that? That pretty much limited the time. Sorry, I was just losing my train of thought here. Now, excuse me. So basically just limited the time in which scalpers could take advantage of those codes, in which, this information is out and about. And yes, they did limit the number of tickets an individual can purchase. So I think this time around for the Club World Cup, an individual could only purchase up to 6 tickets per person, as opposed to 8 or 12. That's a heck of a lot better. Okay? Still didn't mean that scalpers didn't get access to those codes. They did. Still didn't mean that you're seeing right now for the Club World Cup high prices, high verified resale prices. That's still there. Okay? But you are seeing, okay? You are at least seeing not as big of a proliferation of the resale tickets. You're not seeing as big of a proliferation in regards to the price of the tickets. Although for the final, many have said that it is pretty expensive. Let me go ahead and bring out my light out here, since I noticed I have to play with the lighting as it comes here, because DC right now, we're having clouds come through. It's going to be a lot of weather's going to be coming through right now. It's going to be very cold on Inauguration Day, so yay. So that's basically what's going on here. All right. So again, to recap, we have a potential sales window for the first tickets for the 2026 World Cup happening between October and November 2025. This is more of a prediction on my end. The Vancouver 2026 Instagram handle did say late 2025. We're assuming not December, because we're assuming that's when that's when the World Cup draw happens. These two tournaments too close. They need to rename it. So October to November, that's what we're looking at. More than likely, Ticketmaster doesn't sell those tickets. Okay, because we also remember Ticketmaster is not a global brand, or at least not every country supports Ticketmaster. So there's also that. That's why it's probably not going to be sold by Ticketmaster. Okay, but further details as to how we're buying tickets will come out in the weeks and months to come. Make sure that you are registered with your FIFA ID, FIFA.com/tickets. Register your interest. I'm going to include some of those links on my website over the weekend as well. So in that way, you have a one-stop shop for all your information. Okay, so again, travelfootballfan.com. You can visit me there for all your needs regarding preparing for the 2026 World Cup there. Okay, so travelfootballfan.com. All right. Let's see. So that's the when, that's the where, that's the how-ish, because we don't know yet. What are the other words? Who and why? Well, I mean, who is not really that important here. Okay, so why? And by the way, if you have any questions, please go ahead and put them in the chat, so in that way I can go ahead and answer them as we speak. Okay? It is important for you to do a couple of things here to prepare yourself for these purchase of these tickets from now until, let's just say, October. Okay? That means you have about 10 months, right? You have 10 months to save money. Perfect. Now, how much money do you need to save is a tough number, because every person's going to have their own number, okay? If there was an estimate to be put, let's just say you should save about $400 to $500 per person per match. It might be a high number, okay? But remember, I don't know if you're traveling. I don't know what type of ticket you want, whether you want like the nosebleeds or you want the sideline ones. I don't know what food and drink you're going to buy at the stadium. I don't know where you live, okay? I don't know what travel. Did I already say travel? Probably did, okay? So $400 to $500 is a very big estimate per person per match, and it could vary. If you live, let's say, in New York and you're going to MetLife, then you're not really traveling or not spending that much money on travel, so that reduces that amount you need for that. But maybe you want to put that money in towards buying a better seat. See what I mean? So let's just start with $400, $500 that you need to save per person per match, and then you multiply the number of matches you want to go to. That should be about your target number, okay? I do offer, okay, I'm going to transition here to budget spreadsheet. If you have difficult time organizing your budget on a monthly basis, I do sell a budget spreadsheet. Again, you visit my website, travelfootballfan.com. I offer that spreadsheet. I have actually quite a few sales already through my Etsy on that spreadsheet, so that way you can organize your finances, okay? So that way you know what, maybe I am spending too much money here. Let me go ahead, cut down on that spending, put that money into a savings account. On that note, you're not putting your money in a regular savings account. You're going to put all your World Cup savings in a high yield savings account, HYSA. And HYSA allows you to earn even more interest on your savings than a regular savings account. Most of these HYSAs are online accounts. Okay, think of Ally as an example, or SoFi. Okay, the reason why they're able to pay more interest is because they're not running brick and mortar shops, right? Basically, the bank around the corner, right? Your Chases, your Bank of Americas, etc. Okay, you want to put your money in an HYSA because that money is going to gain more in interest per month than it would in a regular savings account. And yes, I understand it's only 10 months. The amount of interest that you might gain could be just $10. It could be $30. It could be $50. Depends on how much you're saving. Okay? But it's 10, 20, $50 that you didn't have to work for. Right? You just let your money sit and you let compound interest do its thing. So, help yourself out earning those extra little bits of dollars and cents by putting your money in a HYSA. If you need advice on which HYSA is best for you, here's a couple of websites. nerdwallet.com, investopedia.com, and bankrate.com. Be a consumer. Be a smart consumer. Shop around. See which high-yield savings account works for you. Remember, some of these might offer a high APY, but they require a minimum balance. That might not work for you, okay? For example, if you're looking for an APY that is competitive, but you want to support a credit union, that's also another good opportunity for you, okay? So those are the things that you want to make sure you keep in mind as you're looking to open up an HYSA, a high yield savings account. So in that way, you make your money work for you as opposed to the other way around, okay? So you have 10 months to save money. And if you haven't saved any money right now, don't you worry. I've only saved $500 right now, okay? I had $4,000 actually. Maybe actually closer to $5,500. But I decided to use that money to pay off my student loans at the end of 2024 so I can start this year a cero. So it was a big risk, but I decided it was better to be without debt. Just pay that off at once. And now I'm basically starting this journey, probably with a lot of you, a cero. It's one of those things, mi gente. It's one of those things. All right, let's take a quick break here. And let's go ahead and take a look at some comments here. So I really appreciate that many of you some comments here. So first one, will the first release of tickets be just a ballot or can we purchase right away? No, it will be an application. Okay, again, this is if FIFA decides to do how it was in previous tournaments. We would apply for the tickets that we want. So say if you want to go to the final, yeah, this is the time to do it. Apply for the final or apply for the team you want to follow, right? So if you want to follow the US, you want to follow Colombia, then you apply. Yeah, I want to buy all the tickets for Colombia. Cool. That's when you apply for that, okay? Planned my travel and already know what games we're going to. Would like to purchase before the draw. Ideally, right? Ideally. So Angus Bird, if your strategy is mostly going to the knockout games, or you're putting a preference towards cities over the games, that's a good strategy. But yeah, apart from that, it's going to be difficult to find out exactly what teams are going to be playing in what cities, except, of course, for Mexico, USA, and Canada. Those games, or at least those teams as matches, we already know where they're playing and when. Okay? I'm going to add a link to that also to my website, but I have created, well, I did create that video on TikTok. I might have to now go have to create that video on YouTube. I'm just going to have to grow here on YouTube like crazy. All right. So, yeah. Next question here. Is NYC hosting more games or only the finals? So, for the World Cup, it's actually Dallas that's hosting 9 matches for the 2026 World Cup. New York, New Jersey is hosting 8. It's just that MetLife is hosting the final. It was kind of one of those deals where Infantino had to calm down Jerry Jones, basically, all right? Or you imagine Jerry Jones getting pissed off that he didn't get the final. So Infantino's like, hold on. I'll give you an extra game. I'll give you 9 games to make up for not getting the final. It's probably what the deal was, all right? 305 Ryder Dolly, what's up? 305. Wait, it's got to look proper. No, there we go. 305. There you go. That's how it looks on the screen. There you go. 305. It looks inverse. That's why, mi gente. Dali, how much do we expect tickets to be? I've also created a video about this on my YouTube. I might have to revisit the prices. But I think what we're looking at right now for the Club World Cup, I think we should just look at those ticket prices and double them. And run with that being the price for tickets for the 2026 World Cup. I think that's a pretty good estimate, more or less, of what to expect. Okay? So that means the final tickets could be $5,000. That is very, very, very possible. However, I think I saw on Blue Sky, might have been Blue Sky or Instagram, that the tickets for the college football championship, they were going for like $9,000 in the nosebleeds. I'm talking $5,000 probably in the lower level for the World Cup final. So, relatively speaking, right? And I couldn't find the screenshot with the ticket prices. But when you really think about it, okay, these prices, although high, are probably going to be the most affordable sports tickets you're going to be able to purchase in the United States, save for, I know some people were commenting several tickets for the World Series, totally possible, and potentially maybe some tickets for like the NBA Finals. But the Super Bowl, nah, man, y'all seen the news reports. Super Bowl tickets go as high as like $80,000, and they're not even good seats. So, relatively speaking, these tickets for the 2026 World Cup, yes, they're going to be expensive because, of course, $5,000 for a sporting event is expensive. I'm not saying it's not, but compared to the other sporting events in the United States, it's not bad. it's like a fantastic deal, to say the least. Okay. Fantastic deal, to say the least. But again, I understand that everyone's budgets are different, and we'll have to see how that's gonna go. Okay. All right. What else can we prepare for? Well, let's move on to this topic of. Oh, okay. So another question right here, right quick before we move on here. So the U.S. match in Seattle, maybe $500, maybe $500. And it depends on what level, right? Because there's, at least for Qatar, there was the category 3, which is the nosebleeds. 2 is like the corners and the ends, I believe. And then category 1 is the sidelines, right? Category 1s. So if I say $500, it's purely an estimate. Say, for example, you're looking to travel to Seattle, you might need to save more money per person because that flight from Miami to Seattle on Alaska Airlines might be $500 per person already, right? So those are some of the estimations. Of course, you then have to throw in hotel per person per night. You have to throw in, all the other expenses. If you live in Seattle already, okay, a lot of that's already cut down, right? You already live in the area. You probably only need to take an Uber, public transportation. The food game day experience, okay, that might be, somewhat of the expense there. But yeah, your expenses are a lot shorter. So that's why that number, $500 is more of an estimate based on balancing how much travel you might be doing to the game versus how much you're going to spend at the game itself in terms of the seat, in terms of souvenirs, food, how you're getting there, etc., etc. Okay? So it's all estimate at this point until we get further clarity on the prices. Like I said, I did make content on this, but I'm going to have to recreate everything for YouTube because I was depending a lot on TikTok. And unfortunately, with this ban, it is kind of screwing me over, unfortunately. Okay, quite a bit to say the least. All right, so let's see. Any other things here that I need to talk about? I know we're at 20 minutes. I try to keep this short, but maybe it's good that we're having this conversation here as well. So again, you have 10 months to save money. If you haven't started saving money yet, it's not too late. I'm at $500 saved only. So of course, a lot has to, a lot is riding on me getting a job, obviously, right? Since my current contract ends in January. So that's going to be important for me to be able to reach my savings goals for the World Cup. Any other life happening could happen. So, how's that going to affect finances? So you have the 10 months to get ready to October 2025 when probably the tickets will go on sale then. Okay. Save your money in a high yield savings account. Let's see what else. Again, probably FIFA is selling the tickets through their own platform. It is more than likely they will, although there is a possibility that Ticketmaster does decide to sell the tickets, or FIFA and Ticketmaster come to an agreement that Ticketmaster will sell the tickets for the World Cup. Hopefully not, because of course we want to avoid those fees. For the Club World Cup, right quick, Ticketmaster is selling tickets for the Club World Cup. If you haven't purchased your tickets, they're still available now, okay? And if you want to save yourself some extra money, you can go ahead and use my Rakuten referral. It's a cashback platform, which Ticketmaster is connected to, okay? And you can get yourself anywhere from 1% to 3% cash back by using Rakuten, because you can connect that through Ticketmaster. And then if you're a first-time user of Rakuten, you get some additional cash back as well by using my referral code. And of course, I get some cash back as well in return for using my referral code. So go ahead and make sure that you're using that if that is something that you do use as well. Okay, if you are looking to purchase tickets for the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup. Question here: do you anticipate getting tickets to the games? I would like to be very difficult if my applications are accepted. Yeah, so I'm guessing like for example, the inaugural or the final, right? Or tickets like the US para Mexico. Yes, those tickets are going to be super high in demand, right? Like that is guaranteed. They're going to be extremely high in demand, right? And so if you don't get them in the application, of course, the hope is that then there are some tickets available in the next phase and sales phase number 2, which will be a first come, first serve. So at that point, yes, you're hoping, hey, once it's my turn to go from the digital queue to be able to purchase the tickets, that you're going to have the opportunity to find some tickets for those high demand games. That's the hope, right? Which is why I think it's also important to note that this is where the scalpers are going to try to take massive advantage of people when they see that demand for those games, say for the inaugural, right? You can't get tickets for the inaugural. Cool. And then they're going to, some people might repost those tickets on StubHub, since they're pretty much the guilty parties in all this. And they're going to be selling those tickets at quadruple the price. Look, I understand wanting to go to that game. Trust me, I would be very sad if I cannot go to the inaugural of the World Cup, but I'm not paying quadruple the price. So there's also a bit of like financial discipline that we all have to undertake. There's a bit of financial just responsibility overall, right? That we all have to take in making sure that we don't make this a field day for scalpers, right? Yes, we want to go to these games. I totally understand it. But if we cannot get tickets through, FIFA and whatnot, it's best that we don't make a market open up for these scalpers, so then that way they fleece a lot of fans in return. I know some fans are going to just buy the tickets regardless just because, but I think it's important to not have that be the case. But again, everyone to their own. Obviously, when you're purchasing resale tickets, you do so at your own risk. So it's a bit of a gamble, to say the least. All right. Let me see. Any further details here? Or, excuse me, another question here. At previous World Cups, do all the teams attend the very first opening game? So you think that would be the Mexico? Do all teams attend the very first opening game? All teams? What do you mean by all teams? Because then Mexico is starting the tournament. We are starting the tournament in Mexico City at Azteca. So Mexico will play that first game. But the United States plays the next day. So if you were thinking all 32 teams were going to be in Mexico, no, they won't be. Okay, they will be at their base camps all around the U.S. and Canada and Colombia, Colombia and Mexico as well. Okay, so don't expect all 32 teams to be in Ciudad de Mexico. No, no, that will not happen. Okay, it will be Mexico versus whoever it is, and then remember on that day too, on the day of the opening match, there's another game happening in Guadalajara. So we're actually getting two games on the opening day of the 11th. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying, Gabriel. Like you were thinking like the Olympic Games, like there was like opening ceremony. Got it. No, unfortunately not. That won't be the case. Mexico versus whoever they get drawn into will be the first game. But there's already going to be two other teams playing in Guadalajara that same day, and then of course everybody else is establishing their base camps. So no, it's not going to be like the Olympics. Correct. It's a good question though. Especially for you first timers. Maybe this is your first World Cup that you want to go to or whatnot. It's a very good question. But yeah. All right. Let's go ahead. Let's go for another couple more minutes. Okay. I want to go ahead and close this out at 30 minutes sharp. So in that way, anyone else viewing this live stream afterwards, already knows, hey, this is gonna be a 30-minute live. They already got their information here. So again, quick recap for those of you if you're joining in late is that ticket sales for the 2026 FIFA World Cup are going to go on sale late 2025. It looks like it's going to be October, November, just because December, that's when the draw will probably happen. And it could be earlier. I predicted August. It could be earlier, but late 2025 seems to be October, November, December. Okay. Any final questions here from the group here? Again, thank you for joining me on this live stream here. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these on YouTube as I gain the necessary numbers in order to hit monetization goals here for YouTube, in order to survive the TikTok ban that unfortunately is gripped the United States. So, what else we got? We got 3 more minutes here on the live. I'm happy to answer any additional questions before we end the live. But again, thank you so much for your support. Okay, make sure that you are watching all of the content that I am producing. I'm going to be posting these videos hopefully daily. Okay, I know over the weekend I'm a little bit more busy, but in the next couple of weeks as I transition out of my job, I'm gonna try to post at least one video a day, almost a video a day about a new particular World Cup topic. I still gotta learn how to play around with Streamlabs. I was actually intending to make this video be more of a set piece video, so I actually record. I just couldn't find the functions. So I decided, screw it, let's just go on a stream live and just go from there. But yes, that's pretty much where we're at right now. Okay, we're just really trying to hit goals, survive the TikTok ban, unfortunately. And hey, at the end of the day, try to get y'all to the 2026 World Cup, not spending a lot of money, making sure that you're a financial winner at the end of the day. That's what I want y'all. That's what I want for all of you. Okay, so yeah, not breaking the bank. That's the important thing here. All right. Any other questions? Give it a little bit, 10 more seconds before we end here. Again, thank you so much. Really appreciate y'all's support. Again, I'm going to be on YouTube now, really hitting this platform hard. Try to get them monetization goals ready to go and try to help you all save money and travel the 2026 FIFA World Cup, as well as the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup too, because that's also a whole other tournament. That's a whole other monster there as well. So yeah, I should do a video on each stadium city hosting. Yeah, probably should. I am trying to create content on tourism for those cities as well. So that is coming. I have to recontact some content creators on that. Yeah, I haven't been to all of the 16 cities though. So that's the only other challenge there, right? I don't want to come off saying that I'm an expert in each of those cities when I haven't even been there, right? But it is a good idea nonetheless. Maybe we talk about it as a community, and maybe we're able to have folks from those specific cities come on and then be able to talk about, hey, how to get around and everything. So that is a pretty good idea, Angus Bird. But yeah. All right. We'll give it 30 more seconds. Again, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time and for your sintonía, como lo decimos en español. También voy a tratar de hacer contenido en español también. Yo sé que pues no le he enfocado muchísimo en el contenido en español. Yo sé que hay mucha gente en YouTube por Latinoamérica. Entonces me va a tocar enfocarme un poquito más en hacer el contenido en español también para poder ayudarles también a ustedes cómo viajar el mundial. Okay? All right, mi gente. I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Final comments. I'm in LA, SoFi Stadium. Dale. But see, no, I have